What is going on, guys? So today we're back with another Pokemon Masters video, and today we're actually going to be going over a very special sync grid. So a couple of days ago we actually talked about, in a Limelight video, about Signasuit, Grimsley, and Sharpedo. Now we actually need to go over the sync grid that is going to be releasing alongside of his actual introduction into the game. So I do actually want to change the format a little bit after this video. I'm actually going to start doing Limelights and including sync grids if they're already going to come with the sync pair, because most new sync pairs now are being added in with their sync grids. Instead of doing two totally separate videos, we're just gonna start clumping it all together. Well, let's actually head over to our sync grid helper thing that we typically use if they're not actually already inside the game, and we'll look at it there. So here we are. As you can see, Sharpedo has a wonderfully filled out grid. There is a lot of stuff to go over here. Now, typically in our grid videos here, we actually only take a look at the yellow, red, and green tiles. We don't focus too much on the blue tiles just because they're all stat increases. A lot of times stat increases are still very important, but they're just, it kind of seems like a waste of time to literally just mention every single stat increase. So we're basically just gonna focus on all of our actual tiles. So I like to start in the top left-hand quadrant, work my way in a Z pattern to the top right, to the bottom left, and the bottom right. So let's just go ahead and get started here. So, looks like we do have Liquidation on a roll 1, which raises the chance of lowering stat values with the additional effects and moves. Okay, next we actually have Waterfall Aggravation 1, which raises the chance of inflicting the flinch, confuse, or trapped conditions on the additional effects of moves, so that's actually cool as well. We do have Head Start, which reduces the sync move countdown by 1 when the Pokemon enters the battle for the first time. I actually like that, that's actually pretty cool. Then we do have Liquidation Powers, 3 of those plus 5s, which is good, and then Move Gauge Refresh 3. So this all kind of looks like mainly the Liquidation corner. We do have a Waterfall and something that pertains to our sync move, but it looks like a lot of this stuff here deals with Liquidation, which is just fine. We do have our sync move power up there. We actually have another sync move power up in the very top of the right-hand quadrant there, which is good. We do have Inertia, which the higher the user speed, the more it powers up sync moves, which is fine. I mean, we're gonna have a ton of speed as is, so the more we can like boost our speed, it's just going to be even better. Then we have Speedy Entry 2, sharply raises the user speed when the Pokemon enters battle, so that kind of works out with Inertia. We do have Aqua Jet powers, we have 3 of those. Then we have an X Attack MP Refresh 3. Of course, we all know what the MP refreshes are going to do, get an extra MP randomly out of that, so that's actually really good. So this kind of looks like the Aqua Jet kind of corner, which is fine. Next, moving into the bottom left-hand quadrant, we do have some waterfalls there. We have 4 different waterfall powers, which is actually kind of cool. Waterfall move gauge refresh, that's good. I mean, extra move gauge is always going to be good. Waterfall Shifty Striker has a moderate chance of raising the user's evasiveness whenever the Pokemon uses a move. Okay, so every time we use Waterfall, we possibly could get some extra evasiveness, which is good. First Aid 2, which is going to restore a little bit of HP once per battle during a pinch, that's fine, that's good. Being that we're actually, if I can remember correctly, our stats don't reflect super bulkiness, so we might actually be a little bit on the flaky side, so that actually could come in handy. Plus, that actually works out, that works out really freaking well with our Sink or Swim. So we'll talk about this tile here in a second, but Sink or Swim, we're basically gonna use that, go down to like 10% of our HP, and then turn around with First Aid 2 and get, it's like what, 30% or 35 or 40% of our HP back. It gives you a small chunk, it's a pretty decent chunk, but that's actually not too bad. That actually kind of helps that out a lot. Then we have our 2 sync move upgrades here again for the bottom side. Then we do have Sink or Swim Slippery 1, raises the user's evasiveness when a move is successful. Then we have Stamina Reserves 3, which once per battle, charges the user's move gauge by 3 when the user's in a pinch. So, okay, that kind of also works out with Sink or Swim. Next we have Power Reserves 2, which powers up moves in a pinch, okay? And then Pressure Cooker 4. Once per battle has a good chance of reducing the user's sync move countdown by 1 when in a pinch. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here that pertains to being in a pinch, and that kind of goes along with Sink or Swim. Now, notice there was 0 Sink or Swim MP refreshes. So we talked about that in the Limelight video. I talked about how that would kind of be scary to just keep using that move because you're just basically going to keep like just demolishing your HP. But that's actually kind of interesting. there's a lot of in a pinch kind of stuff. So it kind of goes really well with his kit. I think that it very much complements what he's going to be used for anyways. Now, as far as like the most ideal build, man, that's actually going to be kind of difficult because it really will depend on which way you want to go. If you like gambling and you want to go for the sink or swim kind of stuff, then I mean, anything that deals with in a pinch is going to be like totally worth it. I personally think something like this would be like a great start. Get all of those boosts from being in a pinch. I mean, the waterfall damage is fine. I mean, it's whatever, but you really want that first aid, which is going to help you. Actually, yeah, let's do that. That would actually be a little bit better than trying to go down this side, just because you get some extra sync move damage, but you get to use all of your energy instead of kind of like, you know, leaving that one open. Now, if you're not into the risky strats, like maybe you want to go for something that's a little bit more just like heavy hitting, like in the moment. You could probably do something like this and just kind of like boost all of your attacks pretty much. And then you could just probably make this guy a pretty mean monster here. Go for some speed and attack there. I mean, that right there is pretty heavy hitting. I mean, you're gonna get pretty much all of your moves powered up, and you're pretty much gonna get like everything kind of like as much damage as possible, which is kind of interesting. The only thing that I always kind of am a little weary about Pokemon that have megas and change one of their moves. When it comes to Singrid, I always kind of feel a little weary about putting stuff into those tiles that aren't going to be used until after we Mega Evolve, because that kind of stuff just really, like, I feel like it's going to be used sometimes, but it's not going to be helpful like all the time, and that's just kind of weird. But let me know what your guys' build would actually be for Sharpedo, because I feel like there's quite a few ways that you could go with it. Those are honestly the first two that come to mind. Just complete like powering up, getting as much like stats as you can out of the Pokemon, or doing the whole build where you go for the riskier strat, you know, something like that gives you like a really risky, high risk, high reward kind of thing, because you get a ton of buffs after you jump down to that super low HP and then turn around and just like go for it. So I think honestly that follows a lot closer to my play style. I think that's what I would personally run, but I don't know, we'll have to see whenever he comes out. I'm actually pretty excited for Sharpedo. I think Sharpedo is probably a really like high tier Pokemon for my personal rankings. I really like him. Let's actually head back to the game here so that we can do a quick scout really quick. So as with every video, we always do a scout, and we're still on the hunt for Dawn and Turtwig. I swear it feels like we're never gonna get this chick. On the count of three, boys. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, so this is the first 5-star out of this banner. I swear if it's not Dawn and Turtwig. Ah! I want it, please, please. No! You gotta be kidding me. No! As fitting as this is, as freaking perfect as it is to talk about Grimsley for an entire video and then freaking scout him, it's not what I wanted. I cannot believe this. But that is actually going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching. As always, remember that if you want to join the Discord, you can do that down below. Also, down there are links to YouTube memberships and Patreon if you want to help support your boy. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and head out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. How do I get Grimsley, dude? How?